In the quiet town of Nsaka, Enugu State, Pastor Okeke was known as a firebrand preacher. His voice thundered from the pulpit every Sunday, shaking the souls of even the strongest men. But inside his home, a different storm brewed. His daughter, Chidinma. Chidinma was not the typical pastor's daughter. Spirited, rebellious, and unbothered by expectations, she had dropped out of university twice, kept company with questionable friends, and was no stranger to nightclubs in Enugu City. For years, Pastor Okeke tried prayers, fasting, and even threats to cast out the spirit of waywardness, but nothing seemed to change her. Then came the plan. One day, after a pastors' conference in Umuahia, Pastor Okeke met his old friend, Daddy John, the general overseer of a growing church network. Daddy John had a son Obina, quiet, well-read, respectful, and deeply rooted in ministry. A perfect example of what Chidinma should have been. An idea formed in Pastor Okeke's mind. If I can marry Chidinma to Obina, it will fix her. A good man will correct her ways. A godly marriage will tame her spirit. Without informing Chidinma, he began to arrange the union. Obina, though shocked, was humble and obedient. If it's the will of God, sir, he said politely. Chidinma, however, was furious. Daddy, you want to use marriage as a rehab center. I'm not a project to fix, she shouted one evening after overhearing the plan. You want me to frustrate another person's son because you're ashamed of me. The house became tense. Pastor Okeke could not understand why she wouldn't accept a blessing like Obina. In his mind, she needed redemption. And marriage was the altar to receive it. It took a voice of reason from an unexpected source, Mama Neka, his late wife's sister, to break through. One evening, she sat with him and said quietly, Okeke, marriage is not a fix. You don't solve spiritual or emotional problems by tying two people together. That boy deserves peace, and your daughter deserves healing, not pressure. She added. Chidinma's rebellion is not because she lacks a husband. It's because she lacks understanding and love. Fix the relationship, not her reputation. Those words struck deep. For the first time, Pastor Okeke went to his daughter's room not to scold, but to listen. They talked for hours. About her pain, her doubts, her anger at being judged even within their home. He apologized not as a pastor, but as a father. Months passed. No marriage happened. But healing began. Obina later found love with a woman from his church, one who shared his values and peace. Chidinma, in her own time, returned to school and eventually found her own path, not perfect, but authentic. She even started volunteering with troubled teens in Enugu. Lesson: marriage is not a hospital or a prison. It is a partnership of two whole individuals, not a tool for fixing one or hiding shame. Don't marry out of pressure. Don't matchmake to escape disgrace. Healing begins within, not at the altar.